Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and have we got a treat for you today as we look at the top 25 FC26 players in the Premier League. Now, this is not a top 25 like 1 to 25. Some of these players are grouped on their ratings, but I can already say there are some missing that I'm going to have my say about. And I actually might do my top 10. You can do yours as well for interaction. Don't forget, you can download FC26, link in the description. But let's get into it. So the only 85 rated player in the top 25 is actually Phil Foden. That doesn't mean he's the only 85 rated player. He's just the only 85 rated player in the top 25. So look, I think the best place to go straight away is to here. This is the transfers for the summer. So there is Mbeumo there, 85 rated, which is fine. Same as Foden. Didn't make the top 25, but it's still 85 rated. Ekitike 83 in at Liverpool. Cunha 83. Man United bias. But what? Why is Foden 85 rated and Cunha's 83? Well, obviously because Cunha was at Wolves last year and Phil Foden's a good player. He's probably not delivering to the level he should be. But for me, Cunha would be on an 85. I'm going to disagree with that one. Cherki comes in as an 81. Lots to prove. Grealish 80. Everton, probably about right, really. And then João Pedro, 79. I think there's a lot to improve for João Pedro there. He's had a good start to his career at Chelsea. So let's have a look at the next set of players, the 86 rated players. Where are they? Where are you? There you are. Okay, so Ruben Diaz, I think... Look, all I'm going to say straight away is that Ruben Diaz, 86, I think is slightly overrated. I've always said this. He is a decent player, Ruben Diaz, but I don't think he's on the level of a Konate. I really don't. I think looking at that list, I don't think he is. I think he's an 85. I think he's slightly overrated. I think obviously playing for Man City, there was times when Ruben Diaz used to be in Team of the Year every year, but I just think he's slightly not as good as Konate, basically. Bruno Guimaraes, I'm all over that. I think he deserves his 86. You've also got Konate, as I said. Reinders in as an 86. I don't agree with that. Not having that. Not having that. Especially when you realise that Gravenberch is not in there. Even, he's not an 86 rated. I think that 86 for Reinders is a little bit over the top, but let me know your thoughts on that. Tonali, fair enough. I think they've done a good job at Newcastle with their midfield. I haven't got a massive problem with that. Let's have a look at what else we got. 87 rated, so quite a lot of players, quite a few in here. David Raya, Bruno Fernandes, Caicedo, Saliba, Cole Palmer, Odegaard, Alexis McAllister, Gyökeres, and Declan Rice. There's only one I've got a problem with there. I actually think that is a very good array of 87 rated players. Obviously, Cole Palmer, Caicedo deserves his place there. Alexis McAllister definitely does as well. David Raya is a very good goalkeeper. Bruno Fernandes, look, I think he could be higher if he was playing in a better team. So I'm happy with that as a Man United player. And I think Gyökeres might turn a few heads. But he's coming in as a very, very high caliber, proven European striker. And a lot of that rating will be coming from Sporting in the Champions League. And if you've got a problem with that, wait till you see a couple of the 89 raters. That's all I'm going to say. Because remember, they are rated from last season, and I think these ratings are correct. Now, the one I've got a problem with is Declan Rice. When we move from 87 rated players to 88 players, Gabriel, Saka, Isak, I think Declan Rice should be in there. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think Declan Rice deserves to be in that category as opposed to that category. And maybe you might say, well, you know what, I think maybe Cole Palmer should be up at 88, or Bruno should be up at 88, or maybe McAllister should be up at 88. But I definitely think Declan Rice should be in the 88 category, which, maybe you disagree with me, maybe you don't. I think Isak, yeah, correct, I agree. Saka and, Gabriel, is Gabriel better than Saliba, 87? You look at Gabriel's card there, 64 pace, defensive 88, physicality 84, and Saliba is 87, 83, and I think Saliba's, dare I say it, the better card on the game and the better player in real life. But, you know, there's another one maybe. So your 88 players. Let's have a look at who's in at 89. Only 3 in here again. So you've got Alisson, who I think is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, so don't have a problem with that. Donnarumma's in there. Not based on Premier League form. He hasn't played in the Premier League. It's the same as Wirtz. They're coming in on what they did at Leverkusen and PSG respectively. And obviously, Donnarumma won the Champions League with PSG and would be considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Obviously, he's got it all to prove in the Premier League. But yeah, I get why Gyökeres came in high. I get why Donnarumma's come in high. Wirtz, I think, will probably attach some controversial comments. Is Wirtz an 89 player? You know, is he better than Saka? Is he better than Isak? You could even go down to the 87 cards and say, is he better than Bruno? You know, is he better than Odegaard? Well, he is on his rating, which is all from Leverkusen, and obviously he's got it all to show at Liverpool. Let's move on to the 90 rated players, of which I think I'm right in saying there's 2. There's 3. Van Dijk, Haaland, Rodri. I have got no issues with these 3. There's only one player beating these 3. You might guess who it is. Have you guessed who it is yet? So, yeah, look, Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner, massively important for Manchester City. Erling Haaland, best striker in the world. Van Dijk, leader, best centre-back in the Premier League. And I like the fact, actually, that we have got goalkeepers, centre-backs in the top rating cards in the Premier League. You know, I think that's really important that we appreciate these players. And if you look at the other cards like McAllister, etc., they are well deserving of their ratings too. So no, I haven't got a problem with any of those, which leads me on to not the best player. It's not Phil Foden. You're not the best. You're not the best. You're the best. Mo Salah, the best player in the Premier League with a 91 rating, 89 pace, 88 shooting, 86 passing, 90 dribbling, defensive card 45. He doesn't need that or the physicality, but he still is, I believe, the best player in the Premier League and worthy of the highest rated card in the Premier League. Now, do you agree with those ratings? Get in the comments. Obviously, my career mode is coming back. I don't know whether I'll be dabbling in the market for Manchester United for many of these players. I tend to go for the up-and-coming players, etc. But you know what? I'm excited for it. And I did say I would give you my top 10 Premier League players based on, not on rating, but this is my top 10. So I had McAllister at 10, Cole Palmer at 9, Alisson 8, Isak number 7, Saka number 6, Declan Rice, number 5. Rodri, number 4. Van Dijk, number 3. Erling Haaland, number 2. And Mo Salah, number 1. Which I think is quite interesting when you think that am I right in saying that we never mentioned Enzo Fernandez in there? Let me just go back. Let me go back. So, no Enzo there. 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 Obviously, that's transfers, and Foden was an 85. So it'd be interesting to say, surely Enzo will be an 85. As I said, Gravenberch, I think that's an interesting one as well. Szoboszlai, another one. I think Cunha's low as 83 too. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. So, do not forget, download your copy of FC26. Links in the description for that. Also, let me know your top 10 players in the Premier League. And let me know if you've got any issues with those cards, because you all support different teams. Where are your players? Or are they in the right place? If I have to say one, and we all have to say one, mine is, I think Declan Rice should be at least 1 point up. I've got him in as the top. I've got him in the top 5 players in the Premier League. So really, he probably should be. Well, I've got him. You know, I think he's 2 cards wrong. What was he down as? Declan Rice down as. I think he was an 87, wasn't he? 87. Well, I've got him higher than them. Maybe he should be an 89. Definitely an 88 in my opinion. Thanks everyone for watching. Get your comments in below. Lots for you to get your teeth into. Big shout out to FC26. Links in the description for that. I'll speak to you on the next one.